Hello guys, so today we are going to be reviewing the newer 7-inch 4K HDMI field monitor. This is a really useful piece of kit. When I first started doing YouTube videos, I used to shoot without them, and I'd get back to my computer and I'd be out of focus, or I wouldn't realise I forgot to hit the record button, and you'd have hours of work where you've just been sitting there, really quite pointless. So I went online, I looked for a way to solve this, and I found these field monitors. Now these are down the lower end of the price range. Like, I saw them up for like £1,000 or so. So this one was £105, and I got it as a bundle kit. It came with a case, it comes with a hood, and you also get the battery and the battery charger, which usually come separate. I say you usually get the battery, but not the battery charger. There is also the option for a mains input. So as I was saying, I went for the kit, and with the kit we get this this carrier case. It's fairly hard, it's kept the monitor well. We've got the foam inside, so we can put the screen up against there and it's not going to break. And we've got a little compartment here we can put our battery in, our charger, and also the holder for the monitor itself. It also came with all the necessary leads. I believe you can plug it into the TV. And we've got two HDMI cables, one I'm using at the moment and a camera, and the other one is this one here. Now what I will say is when I tried using this one it didn't work. I don't know if it's a problem with the camera or with the cable or with the monitor itself, but I don't actually know the answer to that. Here's a different mount in case you don't want to mount it straight onto the hot shoe, which is how I've got it at the moment. And we've got an Allen key and a grub screw as well. So here we have the user manual. This is obviously tell you how to use it. I did have trouble to find out how to turn the volume up and down. It might have just been me being stupid, but it wasn't in here, and it actually took me a while to find out. I'll go over why I need to do that later. And that pretty much rounds up everything that is in the box. So what I will say about this monitor is it's very sharp. You can see exactly what you're shooting, so I can look at myself now and I can see that my hands are out of focus and my face is in focus, which is what I want. I can also see how loud I'm speaking. I've got about the right volume of voice on at the moment. I can also see it's recording, I can see it shooting 24 frames a second, and I can see all my camera information of shutter speed, ISO and f-stop as well. So it's got a lot of on-screen information, which is really useful for me. And another really useful feature is you can also flip the image around. So if, for example, you're shooting like I am, where I'm shooting towards myself, I can flip the whole image over and I can see what the final product will look like. Having said that, when you do this, it does also flip all the words around, so if I want to read what speed I'm shooting at, I have to read it backwards. But as I say, it's not a big deal, I still know what's going on. When I first got the monitor, the volume was up loud, and I got a lot of interference. I'll show you what that sounds like. So this is what it sounded like when I first got it, which is why I need to turn it on. And this is obviously a major drawback. Having said that, I don't need to listen to myself through the monitor. So now I've got to put the headphones in. This has actually also eliminated the feedback we're getting. And you can also hear what's going on. It's very loud when it's in my ear, so I know exactly what sounds are being picked up. So also if I want to see if I can hear a sound from the lights I reviewed earlier, I can see there's going to be no problem, which is another useful thing about this monitor. Okay guys, so if we now look at the monitor, it's attached, the cable's probably about 1.5 meters to 2 meters long, so I can still move it around and see exactly what's going on. Okay guys, so let's take a close-up view of the monitor. Here is the mode button. By pressing that I switch from AV into HDMI mode. When you haven't got the menu system up, these arrows here will adjust the volume. As I say, because I haven't got the headphones in, I'm going to keep this down very low. Obviously you press the menu button, the menu pops up. There we go. And we can flick through the menu now with the arrow buttons. And if we want to come down, we can use this F1 or F2 with the up and down arrows to go up and down and change the settings. Here you will see there's some blocked out menu options here. We just simply have to change that from standard through to user, and then we can go through and change all the brightness, the contrast, the saturation. We can also change the colour temperature. Now if we press menu again, it will take us back so we can slide across into the different menus. here we can change the language, the aspect ratio, no signal colour, and the OSDs. On here we can change the center marker, the safe frames, the image freeze, the image flip, the check field, the P2P and the focus assist. Now I'll show you what these do in a minute because we've also got shortcut keys for some of these. Now I've actually flipped it back round so you can see it the right way around. If we go down into here though, when I was shooting earlier and I'm shooting towards myself, I actually wanted the image flipped. So now if I take the menu down, you can see everything's back round the other way. And then I'm going to change that back. And it'll also change horizontal and vertical flip, but I'm going to take it off again for now. And if we go to our final menu, these are the shortcuts which are also in the previous menu. So along here I've got the F1, F2, F3, F4. I can change the different settings. So if I press F1, we've got the center marker, and this is where I'm focused at the moment. So obviously I want you to be able to see all the settings down here in focus. If I press F2, it will show safe frames. It will show you what parts will be kept in different aspect ratios. If I press F3, we can do a check field. I'm not entirely sure what the purpose of this is, if I'm honest. And then F4, this is our focus assist. We can see everything with that red and white line around it. We're going to know that that's sharp. And then obviously we've got the on-off button. So there we go, I can turn the monitor off. We can still see it's on standby though, so if you do have the battery in it, make sure that when you turn it off you remove the battery, otherwise it will slightly run the battery down still. Well, when you get your monitor, it comes with this hood. It's actually clipped on really well, so I can't get the other side off for now, so I'm going to leave it all attached. It just clips onto the back here with these clips, and then from there, so once you clip the first hood on, you can then get the second hood, which is longer, and it's all Velcro around the edge. And you can clip that on like so, and so when you're outside, that should really help reduce the glare on the screen. So here we've got a USB upgrade, we've got an OSD controller, we have a microphone input, we have a headphone input, this is obviously the HDMI input, and here is where we plug the power in if we want to power it off the mains. And then on the back we can clearly see them all labelled down the side. Here is the battery obviously, and if we want to take that off we can just press this button here and then it will slide straight out. This is the attachment that attaches to the monitor and the hot shoe. When we look at the bottom of the monitor we can see the thread. This will actually also attach to a tripod, but obviously we want to attach it to the top of our camera. You simply wind on the top of the attachment onto the bottom of the monitor, and then you can adjust the bottom part of the attachment onto the hot shoe of the camera, and by spinning the wheel around you can clamp down the tightness on, to make sure it's got a nice tight grip onto your camera. And you've also got this little dial here that you can spin around, and this can adjust the angle you're shooting at. Now if I use my iPhone, you can see where it attaches into the camera. Now the battery has a lifespan of about 3 hours, and it takes 4 hours to charge. Here is the USB charger I got with it. Simply just plug it into your computer or any USB powered port, and you'll get a little battery symbol here light up, and you'll be able to see how charged it is. Guys, I'm actually doing a shoot for a drone review now, and I managed to cycle down here, so this monitor is very mobile. And while I've got it on here, now's a good time to show you the screen quality when the hood's on a very bright sunny day. You can see what's going on there. I'm getting a bit of reflection, but still pretty clear. And if I stand back, it's actually a lot clearer. You might not be able to see it too well on the camera. I've had to blast exposure out the background to show you the monitor properly. So the hood is doing its job, and it's doing it well. So I'm also reviewing a shutter release, and it's also a timer, and I'm just using my field monitor here because where I've got my camera on the floor, you can't see the screen, so I can just use the field monitor to tilt it up and see what I'm actually looking at and know what I'm getting. Okay everyone, so that should give you an idea now of how easy this monitor is to use and how to set it up. And personally I find this a must-have when I'm shooting video, and it could also come in useful if you're out and about because it's very mobile, it's very light, it does look a bit wobbly on the top sometimes, but it's functional, it's well made, and it does the job it's supposed to do. I'm going to give this field monitor a 4.5 out of 5. The reason for this is it's very mobile, it's very easy to use, it's easy to understand. The battery is fairly long lasting, although you may want to get a backup. If you compare it to other products on the market, it's one of the cheapest and it still does the job exactly how you'd want it to do it. The only downside to this monitor is when the volume's on full, you do get a lot of feedback from it, and it doesn't actually tell you in the instruction manual how to sort this problem out. Okay, now guys, I hope you found this video useful. If you have, giving it a thumbs up helps me know I'm going in the right direction. If there's anything else about this monitor you'd like to know, just drop your question in the comments section down below. I'll answer them as I go along, and I'll also update my webpage with any extra information, which I'll also drop down the link below. And I hope to see you in the next one. Okay, now I've put... oh, it's loud. Now I've put the headphones in, it's actually eliminated the problem we were having with the feedback.